Well, look at him go. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Beyond Zoo. My name is LP Gomez, and I'm really glad to have you guys here. First off, I just want to thank everyone for all the support. We've reached 50 subscribers, so super glad that you guys are actually enjoying this content enough to subscribe. This is kind of part of my documentation of my ZSU project, which is the Beyond Zoo in St. Louis. So today we're working on a little bit of a Red Rocks enclosure here, kind of following up on the wallabies with some elk and bison. The elk and bison are common, or used to be common, North American animals, but have been sort of hunted to sort of a concerning status as of late. So I know that at least in Missouri we have a big kind of program for elk conservation in the Ozarks, and I know that the same goes with bison. These guys used to roam the Great Plains, but I think they live in a few kind of protected areas now, on reservations and nature preserves. But anyways, yeah, we're working on a little bit of a simple enclosure for them, not going with anything too fancy. With Red Rocks, I'm kind of going for a simple aesthetic where we just have a bunch of yards and appropriately sized stables to house some of these animals. This is an older part of the zoo, and while we might renovate this in the future, currently, yeah, we're just going for a basic habitat. We might kind of hide some things with some faux rocks, but we're ultimately we're just kind of showing the animals in simple enclosures. Kind of mimicking what the St. Louis Zoo has. So here I'm kind of doing a little bit of rock work, kind of like what we did with the ostrich habitat, the zebra habitat, and the wallaby habitat. Generally, all of the Red Rocks habitats kind of utilize faux rocks to simulate some sort of natural kind of rocky outcropping. But even for this kind of version, I'm kind of using that kind of that block piece, that plaster block piece, just to give it a little bit more of a cleaner edge. I think that was one area that I wanted to kind of work on, was having a little bit of a cleaner build moving forward. So yeah, I'm currently planning the stables. There will be 2 stables in this enclosure, and I might kind of label that in the ZSU system as one being sort of more of a show enclosure, and the 2 backstage enclosures being distinct 2 backstage enclosures. The reason being, on ZSU, I got some feedback when I was sort of asking around about mixing bison and elk, if I could kind of house them in the same habitat. Generally, because elk babies are a little bit more fragile, especially when they occupy the same space as bison. You kind of want to isolate those guys when they're smaller and more fragile, so that they're not, beat up by the bison or messed around like that. So we are working on 2 separate backstage enclosures. Again, when breeding happens, we might kind of move a female adult and the baby over to their own little habitat, backstage habitat. That's kind of separated from all of the rest of the animals in this yard. So yeah, a lot has been going on at Beyond Zoo in the ZSU world. We've recently acquired some civets that we'll be showcasing in the next episode, as well as some really cool animals in the store. I know that I was able to secure some penguins, and we'll be starting our penguin and Puffin Coast inspired habitat here very, very soon, which I'm excited for, because we've been talking about penguins even during the first kind of pilot, where in our little metro station we have a penguin statue. I think in the lore we talked about how the government person that we worked with was a fan of penguins, so we kind of added that little statue just as an homage, and promised her that we would secure some penguins. So we were able to secure a group of Humboldt penguins. That will be the beginning of our Penguin and Puffin Coast. So here I'm kind of borrowing a little, like the Red Gate, a little bit of inspiration from the wallaby habitat. And I generally kind of like this continuity between the not only the gate but also the style of the old stable in the back, in contrast to the more modern, wood and metal structure that we have here in the front. Carrying that theming across from the wallaby yard kind of adds a little bit of a story dimension where maybe those stables were built originally before this new one got built. And when you kind of fly over from the top, I just love how eventually when we put the roofs in, it looks consistent and realistic. Maybe we use the same architectural firm to build these stables, therefore they look similar. Again, saves me time and makes us feel more like a realistic build. I don't think it's that realistic when everything is custom. You just build a few custom pieces and then you reuse them, because that's what happens usually when you build a successful building. You might reuse the same architecture firm to do other structures as well in your zoo or in your project. I know that is the case with architecture firms, because I used to work at one, and when a client likes you, they'll ask you to do a similar project again for them. So yeah, just working on a little bit of a bedding here in the back with the hay. I didn't really do a lot in terms of detail inside of the stables. I may go back and do them at a later date, but as of now, I'm kind of happy where I'm at. Just with the exteriors here, just doing a little bit more rock work and detailing with these steps. And of course, these famous red gates. I think I'm going to take out that rock structure and continue the arbor, the red arbor wood piece all the way to the end there. But yeah, guys, again, just wanted to kind of show this one. This is a quick one, and I won't be speaking for long because I don't really have much to talk about the bison and the wapiti. They're really, really cool animals, and they speak for themselves, really. And yeah, just doing more red rocks. I'll be doing more red rocks here in the next couple of days with the camel and probably extending the zebra and ostrich yard a little bit, because I noticed that since we've acquired some more zebras and ostriches over time, that enclosure has become increasingly overcrowded. So we'll have to take a look at that. And yeah, here's the arbor piece coming in. It looks really good. I like it. I like how in the first kind of Red Rocks exhibit that you see, we kind of used a lot of the faux rocks just to hide our buildings. But then over time, it's like, hey, you know what? Like, it's okay for people to see the backstage. In fact, it might kind of help us kind of talk about conservation and the things that we do to keep our animals comfy and thriving at our zoos, like that AC, 2 AC units actually. Yeah, just doing a little terraforming here. But yeah, what do you guys think about this habitat? I know it's not too crazy, but I think it works. But I'd love to hear what you guys think and how I could improve in my builds in general. I would say that my style is generally more simple, more low-key. I definitely overuse rocks and foliage to give a lot of depth to my builds, and I'm starting to experiment with materials outside of brick. So that's kind of my idea. I did have an idea here of creating a little stage kind of here in this front yard, which I'll do in a bit after I place down all of these enrichment items. You saw me trying to put down that mud bath, and didn't quite work out. I don't know. Like, I did the mud bath for the water buffalo, so I didn't want to repeat myself here, and I just wanted to do something a little bit more simple. So yeah, that kind of stage area in the front, I will be getting to in a little bit. I think is meant to be kind of a place where educators can talk about conservation efforts for these animals in some sort of like performance or show. Yeah, in the St. Louis Zoo, we don't really have a lot of bison and wapiti and elk. So in fact, I don't think we have any. So just kind of freestyled this a little bit, and I took inspiration, just doing a little bit of work here with the water trough and the food trough, and that enrichment item. Trying to get animals in. And yeah, I'm doing a little bit of rock work here. I think this is where I get started on my stage. Again, simple, natural stage made of a little elevated section with the rocks, kind of marking the perimeter. And that guy has started kind of resting there. So yeah, we're here at the cinematics. Thanks again for hanging out with us. If you enjoy these videos, feel free to subscribe and like the video. I think it's a way for me and you to stay connected on what's going on at Beyond Zoo. And I just want to thank everyone who's been leaving comments. It's been great just to have conversations with you guys, either here or over in Discord in these ESU servers about my builds, what's going on in Beyond Zoo, and potential collabs. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time.